Speaking as a 90s kid, I've never been a big Western film fan myself, but I do hold a certain nostalgia for the aesthetic. The classic narrative trope of the lone gunman, opposed by a land of crime, corruption, and people on the sidelines torn between doing what is right and what is easy. So upon seeing a low polygon rendered interpretation of the Wild West on the Steam storefront as part of an early access third-party shooter, well, all of a sudden you have an interesting premise. Let's see if the rest of the game holds true. While the prospect of the game being listed at the retail price of $2.99 doesn't exactly fill me with hope. Hello everyone, this is WarriorDan, and today we'll be taking a look at Take That, the new and somewhat suspect indie western third-person shooter game, developed and published by the one-man team SY Games. And dear god, this game is dreadful. Normally I would say I don't know what possesses game developers to think that any consumer, especially those belonging to the traditionally demanding PC demographic, would find this game acceptable, let alone enjoyable. But sadly, years of experience has taught me better. It would seem that for those ill-equipped to develop fully functioning in-game AI, the workaround seems to be to create single-player PvE horde mode games, now also being referred to by ill-informed trolls and misleading developers as single-player battle royale games. The end result is about as miserable an effort as can be expected. While I do have to give some inkling of credit to the developer on the choice of art style, there's not really much else good I can say about the game, after spending the better part of an hour playing it. The gameplay feels very puerile in almost every regard, and not in a good way. The poorly implemented hit detection, combined with the severe and restrictive recoil, makes firing at mid-range unreasonably challenging and inconsistent, with long-range combat effectively being rendered impossible in most circumstances. However, this doesn't seem to apply equally in regards to how the AI targets the player. Even oftentimes at medium to somewhat far range, the bots will be able to consistently and accurately land their shots, with only a few bullets missing their intended mark. However, there is a somewhat hilarious trade-off to this irritating lack of programming depth. The AI's pathfinding capacity, in addition to their bugged player detection radius, leads to some awkward moments. In addition to this, dynamic in-world physics seems to have not been considered, as dead bodies mysteriously defy the law of gravity.
Shameful display!
We seem to be defying gravity, my man!
Then we have my personal favorite, the comatose AI glitch, which can seemingly be initiated at random if the player first kills all other nearby AI bots, and then puts away their gun, resuming the passive state they started the round in, before then finally approaching the sole remaining bot, this being the result.
Excuse me, damn fool! What are you waiting for? You asleep or something? Hey, how'd you not see me, man?
Now some people could say that these are just a few bugs in the coding, and to some extent I would agree with that sentiment, but the consistent extent to which these bugs appear in-game, combined with the developer's inability or unwillingness to correct these flaws in the 2.5 months it's been since the game's release, does point to a larger problem in regards to the operational philosophy of the developer. Others could say, well, it's an early access game, what do you expect? To which I would cite many better made early access games, like The Forest or Killing Floor 2, which by no means were perfect 2 months after their initial respective releases, but still did not display such fundamentally broken mechanics. The developer currently seems to be turning their attention to producing additional content to layer on top of the otherwise limited amount currently present in the game. But if I could put myself in his or her shoes and do one thing differently, it would be to pull back from focusing on longer term goals like content and instead prioritize reworking the hit detection and recoil, as well as shrink the size of the levels to accommodate the weapons available, and finally fix this dreadful AI. $2.99 for this game in this state, I wouldn't keep playing it even if they offered it for free next week. On that note, that's where I'm going to wrap it up for today. I absolutely, in no uncertain terms, do not recommend you buying this game on Steam for any reason. Take your $2.99 and buy yourself something from McDonald's. After all, if you have to waste your money on garbage that you'll regret later, it might as well be somewhat edible. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button and tell me what you think of this game and this video down in the comments section below. Unlike most people, I usually do respond to comments, so if you have anything to say to me, put it down below and I'll make sure to take the time to read it. If you'd like to see more review videos like this, definitely hit the subscribe button down below and opt into getting notifications so you can be one of the first to know when a new video goes live. This is WarriorDan signing out. Stay awesome everybody, and peace out.